Governor Peter Mba assured Enugu residents that he would transform the state into a construction site. While road constructions are going on, residents are asking one key question: what is the plan? And to shed more light on it, this edition of Enugu Kwenu is going to critically analyze this vital transport infrastructure. This is Enugu Kwenu. I am Nathalie Uku. Thank you for staying tuned and welcome back to Enugu Kwenu. Good evening to you, viewer. Joining us live is the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Aka Aka, to shed more light on road constructions in Enugu State. Good evening and thank you for being here today.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
Well, first and foremost, how have you been?
Well, it's not been easy. It's been, but so-so, 50-50.
Why 50-50?
Because we have plowed in certain things, and what we have plowed in is coming on very nice and fine. But there's some distress along the line, but it's expected. So it's all joy, plus a little bit of sadness.
Okay, well, we're going to get into all of that. But one question that I've always been meaning to ask someone in your authority is, why don't any of our roads last? One of the reasons that we are where we are now is because roads have been constructed over the years, but after a while they seem to deteriorate. What is wrong with the materials that we use?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is very important. It's an important question because that's one of the reasons why His Excellency decided, the Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba, decided that he will do a new road altogether. There are places we are scraping off entirely, even though they appear to be good and nice. But these roads, we are ensuring that the contractors allow them to do them such that they will last for a long time. We are planning in such a way that the roads, that's why we didn't begin when the rains were so heavy, so that the consolidation, the rammering, and all of the things that they have to do about road construction will be completed and it will last long. It's a matter of construction. Apart from this, there are other factors like weather factor in Africa which could earnestly affect road construction. The heat is so high. And then some roads are not made for certain vehicular movement. Like what you saw recently, when the big lorries, the trailer, the trucks were now coming into city because of the damage along Enugu Port Harcourt road. So it caused a lot of havoc. So many roads got damaged because they were not primarily set for the vehicle that we're now applying them.
Well, over Christmas, before we even get to the truck chaos, like we like to call it, residents saw that some of the roads were filled up. The potholes on the roads were filled up. What informed this decision to do that maintenance? Was longevity in view when those things were being covered up a little bit?
Yeah, it was because of Christmas. We just needed our people to have a free flow during the Christmas period. But after Christmas, some of the places we even did the palliative job there, we are scraped off entirely. Some persons are having problems navigating those areas, but it is very understandable that these roads, that what we are doing during the Yuletide, were not meant to last. But now, the roads must last. That's what our agreement with the contractors.
The question now is...
today,
yeah,
the pothole, we have a zero tolerance for potholes in Enugu State. But somebody was coming from Lagos, landed at the airport, and moved from the airport almost to, came to Government House and said there was no pothole. He met no potholes at all. It was commendable for him. And he was also very full of praises for the government.
Well, now taking it back to what we're seeing, we understand that there could be this zero tolerance for potholes, but because of the collapse of the new Artisan Bridge, you have these heavy-duty trucks that you've cited trying to get across to where they want to go, and of course, plying the inner city roads.
Yes.
This has led to not just potholes, but what seem like
serious damage,
ditches, damages to the roads. We can't talk about this without referring to Nza Street. Yeah. Nza Street is so chaotic now that you can't even dream of what it looks like. So what's it like trying to disruptively rehabilitate road infrastructure, whereas you have these heavy machines, heavy trucks, plying our roads every day, going from one place to another?
Those roads, those damaged roads, I call them damaged roads, will not be repaired immediately, because we want to make sure, from the promises from the federal government, that Enugu Port Harcourt road will be taken care of. I mean, Port Harcourt bridge, that bridge will be taken. Immediately it comes on, then we can now think about making the roads better in Enugu State. So I want to use this opportunity to thank our people for their understanding. It is important because this is a time when they should be enjoying the roads. But because of this traffic hold-up and then the thoroughfare engaged by the, what is it called, the trailers and big lorries and so on and so forth, we are experiencing the damage to roads. It's not only in the street. There are other places. I don't know the names of roads, but I apply them. Along Presidential Road, is it Presidential Road or Sadebe? I think there are some ditches and places that where I saw there, they were not so good enough. So, but hopefully, after the bridge had been mended, certainly the roads will be attended to.
So when we're talking about the temporary crossing that has been provided, has it helped in any way to reduce the influx of these heavy vehicles into the states? Because that temporary crossing, I believe, was supposed to perform a number of functions. How has it been able to meet the objectives?
Well, we are doing our best to ensure that they don't come into the city. But the efforts being put together is just to enable these big lorries not to come into, but sometimes there's nothing you can do essentially if they come into the city. And we only pray that there are expedite actions to make sure that that bridge is repaired quickly. I think that's the only thing we have to do about it. So otherwise, some of these lorries will saunter into the city and create damages and so on.
Definitely. So, I mean, lots of people are watching now, they are curious, and they're asking, what roads exactly has the government commenced? Which of these roads are now completed? Could you please give us a broad overview of the span of these road constructions in the state?
Yeah, there are ones I will remember, there are ones I won't remember. In fact, I have to contact the Ministry of Works to be able to know which ones exactly have been completed. There are ones that have been completed, there are ones that are in progress, and so on. Like Premier Layout completed, College Road completed, New Haven, that's the Phone Village, is completed. In fact, when I was driving through the area today, somebody called me, hey, I can't last, you people are doing well too. I said, no, what you have to do for us is to make sure that people don't burn tires on this road. They don't constitute another problem for the road, because people are happy about the roads, especially the completed ones. You can now move freely from let's say the New Haven, joining the other road that comes into I told you I don't know the names of this road, but incidentally, there is free flow of movement. That's the other one, the Gariki flyover area. But they have ongoing ones: Odukoko sub-base and drainage completed, St. Peter's sub-base and drainage completed, Amechi flyover stone base completed. But there are work in progress. Apart from this completed, there are things that we have done people don't notice. His Excellency decided that there will be a resurfacing, a re-asphalting of the road from airport into Enugu. So I don't know when last you traveled, but if you move from the airport into town, you will see the road as smooth as silk. And that's one of the decisions they are taking. People wouldn't take note of that. But if you're applying the road, you will certainly notice it.
Definitely. I mean, we do have a footage of that. You know, if you look at the screen, you would see some of the constructions that have been done on the airport road. But speaking about the Premier Layout, we have a video of Enugu residents reacting to the constructions, and majority of them have commended the governor for his effort. Take a look.
The governor has done very, very well by constructing this road, because I have been here since 7 years now. And this road has not been constructed. A lot of people have been complaining about the bad road. And for the past 8 years, this road has been here. But when this administration just came in, everything was turned around for good. So this road construction is very, very okay for everybody. And people around this place is very happy for the government. And we hope also that other road will be also constructed on this administration.
Business move for Kanaza Kana Runa main road. Even shop Mekwara Feti Mana or Yamaka name the Chinadema or Maramaka Sharo.
So this road actually helped me because I paid for my house, my shop rent. December, and by January they were already working on the road. And I was very favored actually. It helped me. The dust wasn't much because I was thinking how am I going to cope with my kid here with the dust and everything. But as God may have it, though, they came for the road and now it's done. So I'm happy. It's made business to be so fine now. We're making massive sales. So I thank you. Thank you to the governor of Enugu State. We appreciate.
We are the ones suffering it because of the dust and some other things. This is my working place. I do laundry. I wash clothes. So when I wash clothes, the dust will still go and stain the clothes. So, but thank God that some of my customers, some of them used to understand. But I'm happy now that the road has been constructed and they are seriously working on it. We are happy. So I so much thank God and so much thank the governor in the work that he's doing.
For 5 years. Obi dị ụtọ nke ukwuu n'ọrụ ọma gọvanọ anyị na-arụrụ anyị maka ebe a dust na-eme anyị too much nke bụ na ejedị m hospital mbọsị maka dust so mana kịta ebido rụba ọrụ a o benetago ọfụma so anyị obi dị m aṅụrị nke bụ na ọ bụ na mmadụ na-aga nso n'ebe gọvanọ nọ ekwesịrị m iburu akara m otu a jee nye ya ka o rigodi nne efife.
Concern the construction going on this place, it's really helped a lot. It's really helped the business a lot. Before, people can pass here freely, dust everywhere. It was really not good for the health and everything. But now, cars can pass freely. Everybody sells well now. Everything is just going perfectly good and okay. Before, things were not really going well, bad market and everything.
And Ndogba they're very happy. Mbana Rosa and Nika agent and mechanic 24 hours. But Kita well and Abazi Mucha and Abanozo. Amasaka China Gozia Governor Petamba.
Those were reactions from, of course, residents and business owners at Premier Layout here in Enugu State, Nigeria. So I have to ask this question. What went into the planning and design phase of this project? What was the planning stage like? Because people are asking, are we disrupting, is the government disrupting all the roads in the state? Was it all to be done at once, like the budget said?
Yeah, before I come into that, I think I have to make a little comment about the Vox Pop that you did. You will see the vulcanizer who said that even though he's losing business, but he's excited about it, and so is it with other persons, like the lady who said he wants to take his akara to His Excellency to eat. Maybe in time His Excellency will come around and she will give him the akara altogether. But be that as it may, the plan, the construction of these roads, the effect is that our people needed these roads urgently and badly. And you recall that before now, they were all complaining that this government is not doing anything. I would say, don't worry yourself, we're coming. We have a plan on ground. First of all, we want to get it right. Because this issue of hurrying into constructing roads when the roads are not, when the weather is not so good enough for it, it results in destruction of roads and so on and so on in time. So the disruptive attitude we have about roads that let the roads be scraped off, the bad ones, and then new ones laid, entirely new. And we have something more solid. And the effect is showing. People are very happy. If you get to where they are, I don't know the language, but where they are doing this road, yes, you will see that the thickness of the road is something that is very commendable.
We're definitely going to get into the quality of the roads. That's a very vital part. But first and foremost, how were the priority roads selected? I mean, it's not by chance that the government chose to do certain roads like the airport road, the which other road again? You mentioned the one we just saw, Premier Layout. You know, those two roads, among other roads that are being constructed, those in MNA as well. What were the criteria that were used to justify selection of these roads? Were they just by chance, or were there some things that pushed the government to do that?
His Excellency said in his campaign, during the campaign, that he would do 10,000 kilometer roads. But apart from that, the city must be taken care of, because we invite investors from different parts of the world to come and invest in Enugu State. So if you are expecting a visitor, of course you will keep your house tidy, at least so that you will see that you are a very organized person. So the city would be tidy enough. The roads that were selected were only selected because they are primarily important. And then we also considered nearness of these roads so that the contractors will not be struggling with their heavy trucks. So if we're doing College Road, we'll be doing something like a GRA Transekulu Road, so that there will be gap in the, so these things are organized in such a manner that there will be no clashes while they're doing it. Again, very vital roads to the people are also treated so that we can effectively have a free flow of traffic. Today, Enugu people are under tension as a result of the construction, because so many persons would like a free flow of traffic. And I would like to use this opportunity again to say, to tell the people that it is not deliberate to make them suffer. But the opportunity cost of the construction of these roads is the fact that we are suffering now. If we suffer in quote for the next 1 month or less, the roads could be better and we enjoy it. I applied the road from GRA to Damija almost on a regular basis. People suffered about 2-3 days ago, very horrendously. But today, if you go there, the road has not been finished, but there's a smooth flow altogether. That's what we are planning, so that every road will be touched.
Was it intended for all the roads to be carried out at once? Because people are complaining, they're saying the traffic is excessive because they believe no alternative routes were provided. Taking it to what happened in Abia State, according to residents, the governor did provide 3 alternative routes. He had 3 of them ready as at Christmas last year, according to them, and that has made it easier for residents to commute from one destination to another. But in Enugu State, you have intense traffic at Transekulu, sometimes in New Haven, other parts, and let's not forget Holy Ghost, among other areas that are prone to traffic. So was it intended for all the roads to be done at once?
The grass looks greener at the other side, they say. I know you have not been to Abia State. They also suffer this tremendously. They also suffer this. But the thing is that when people around you highlight the fact that they are suffering, I'm sure if you get to Abia State, you will hear that Enugu State is doing it very well, because the grass, I said, looks greener at the other side. We also provided routes that people can move through. So, but what complicated matter was the federal government's effort at the 82 Division 9th Mile Road, which is being constructed. There was very difficult and tight position for Enugu State not to construct the GRA Damija Road. It's very important and cardinal, because if you don't construct it, it will also yield to another problem altogether. We appreciate that there are difficulties. There are difficulties about it. Again, I want to slightly move into the dust, the hazy dust. The meteorologists estimated that in Enugu State particularly, there will be a haze. This haze will be sickening at certain points. Like today, if you had gone outside, you will notice that the air became very cloudy and irritating sometimes. If you add it to the dust that's generated along the line, you will see that things, the weather, the atmosphere is very sultry and not very conducive for people. That's why some people are expected to wear their masks to check this thing.
Yes, we've been seeing people wear their masks.
It's very, very important.
So now I would like us to move into the quality of these roads. Enugu State's soil and topography is unique, right? What was considered when constructing these roads? Were the topography and soil texture of Enugu State taken into consideration when constructing these roads? And also the drainages, because drains are very important. If you don't have an effective drainage system, what you would have are wet roads that would eventually reduce or dampen the quality of the roads. So in terms of soil, topography, and drainages, how are these considered to create roads that will be sustainable in the long run?
I do not have the engineering expertise, but the much I can say is that all these roads we are constructing, there are drainages. Drainages are provided, especially for left and right flank. They are provided so that the water will immediately rush off the road, because water damages roads. So it will rush off the roads and then can flow. So it's a new type of road construction. And the agreement with the contractor is that it will be firmly done. They are removing some part of the soil so that you can get to a level where the soil is not too soft. I told you I don't have the language to speak about the technical languages, but where the soil is not too soft to carry the road itself. The roads we are constructing can even carry higher vehicles if it were as it is. God forbid that it was the time when the bridge collapsed and the big vehicles were coming into town. These roads we are constructing today can carry them, but we don't pray for such.
All right, so that takes us into the paving of the roads, and that's very important. Some people use asphalt, other people use concrete, and of course we need to know which one that the government has decided to use, because one of them lasts longer than the other. So are you aware of the kind of material that was used or is currently being used to pave the roads, or is it a mix of the two, asphalt, concrete?
It's neither here nor there, but the roads itself, some of them are asphalt. There are places we use concrete, there are places we don't use concrete. But some of them the roads themselves are asphalt. But if you go to the paveway, the gutters, if you like, they are strengthened with iron, concrete, and other material that will make sure that even the water flowing will not be acidic enough to tamper with it. I think we are getting it right now. We're getting it right.
All right. Well, people have reservations about concrete because of what happened at the Ebonyi State Airport. Eventually, the concrete runways became a problem. So when you say concrete, people are like, are you going to create a double problems? Perhaps tomorrow come back and start again.
Asphalt a lot more on these roads. A lot more on these roads than concrete. It's only when it becomes essentially necessary that you can think about using concrete. But asphalt, but it will be well consolidated so that the roads will be a thing of pride for Enugu people.
People have been taking what Governor Peter Mbah said seriously about transforming Enugu State into, a modern city, more or less. And they're asking, if the governor wants Enugu State to be a modern city, why opt for open drainages? Was there anything that informed the decision to go with open drainages? They are saying that there is no modern smart city that makes use of open drainage systems. Do you believe that? What's your reaction to that?
Allow us to move from A to B, from B to C, and so it continues. It's a gentle process. We have an exemplary new Enugu city that is coming up. There's so many things about smart school apart from open drainages. It's a matter of having a behavioral change amongst us so that people will not pour their waste into the drainages, people will not defecate there, and so on. But if the drainages are clean enough so that there will be free flow, you don't have to fear about diseases coming from there. But I would like also to confirm that the new Enugu city is something you'll be proud of. When we talk about new Enugu city, it's a particular place. It's not the entire Enugu. So it's an exemplary city that we're building. And the Enugu people will be proud of it.
Can we liken it to Centenary City?
It will be far more than that. It will be far more than that. But just hold your peace.
All right. So now, speaking about the quality of the roads still, can you give us an approximate thickness value of the roads?
I can't do that.
What about the materials used for the base and sub-base of the road?
If you permit me, I can't do that. I can't, because I wanted the Commissioner for Works to come in and answer these questions, because I don't have the technical expertise. If he were here, he'll be able to answer it.
All right, but we can confirm from you that the paving is being done with asphalt majorly and not concrete.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like, should we say it's 80-20? 80% asphalt, 20% concrete for other roads.
My words might mean a lot for you, but technically it may not mean so much for those who know exactly what it means. So allow that question to be.
So what are we going with?
These are questions that you have packed on, especially for the Commissioner for Works.
Trust me, I have learned how to. I can single-handedly construct a road now. Like I've done that much research. Okay, well, so we're saying majorly asphalt or majorly concrete?
Majorly asphalt.
All right.
Thank you.
And on that, happy note, we'll go on our first break here on Enugu Kwenu. And when we return, we'll be looking at more critical issues concerning the road constructions in the state. Don't go anywhere.
Where is it?
You're welcome back. You're still watching Enugu Kwenu here on Afia Television, and we're still looking critically at the Enugu road constructions with the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Aka Eze Aka. Well, now moving ahead to the contractors handling the project. Can you please give us an estimated value of the ratio of foreign to local contractors being employed in the state?
What I will assure you is that we are using local as well as foreign contractors. But the important thing is that these contractors are monitored day by day, inch by inch, so that they will deliver good work. For instance, most of the roads that we have in the city are being handled by local contractors. But when we like Owo, Obaho, it's that Neke Road that His Excellency is constructing. In this one, we have it that CCs, the foreign contractors are handling it. So the important thing is that we are assuring our Enugu people that these roads will meet international standards. Very important for us.
So what were the criteria, in place when selecting the contractors? Because what we're facing now is that we're seeing reported delays to the point that the Commissioner for Works even had to give a 20-day ultimatum, which has far gone down by now. I don't know how many days we have left, but I'm quite sure it's below 10. So what were the criteria that were, used to select these contractors, and how in your assessment, how are they faring?
I think they are doing well. The simplest thing that they have a history of good delivery. That's why they were selected. They could do well. They have done a lot of roads, and we saw them as it's necessary to bring them over to do works here in us. I feel they are doing well. Let me say something about because I was monitoring. That's why I always refer to it. The road from GRA
to
Transekulu. At a certain point, they had to break off so that there were places that were blocked. But while they were doing the work, there was a burst pipe. So in order to replace the burst pipe, they had to cut off certain area. It brought a lot of difficulties for people living around the area. A very, very serious one. So that it had to even stop some people from going through the area that goes into phase 6 and so on. So it became a problem. The delay there has been caused by that particular incident. Because by now, they would have finished Damija down to the bridge. These are the examples of what's happened. And then, this may not be good enough for us to say. We have problem with material, but it's not an excuse. For the source of material became a problem because of some rules, regulations that happened in Nigeria. I don't want to go deep into it, but it became a source of problem for us. But I assure you, the 21-day ultimatum that was given, we understood with the contractors and had to bend over backwards to allow them to do a good job. We don't want to hurry them into doing a shoddy job.
So there are not going to be any sanctions when the 20 days expire?
There will be, but they are also struggling to meet these things. It was a push for them to begin to struggle to meet our expectations. It's important for us.
All right, so we've received informed reports that the pace of the contractors is also affecting the pace of the water corporation when it comes to ensuring reticulation of Enugu water, of course, to people's homes. And the informed reports also suggest that the contractors who have been charged with responsibility of digging holes for the pipes are not doing so quick enough, and that has made it more difficult for the pipes to be reticulated to other people's houses. What's your assessment of that, and what are actions to improve the situation?
There are procedures for the repairs. Number one is first identify where there are problems, then notify the people that repair it. After the notification, they will now come and carry out certain things. These are the things that make things to drag a little bit. The Water Corporation, they are also working hard to see there are some places where the water is no longer flowing, but there are places it started to flow. But we needed to have a comprehensive work done for the Water Corporation. But it's also affecting the work that is being carried out by those who are constructing roads. So it's neither here nor there. But we also need to appreciate the fact that every person is struggling to meet up his own requirements. So the Water Corporation people, they are also trying their best.
Yeah, no, they are trying their best.
We need them. I think what only we need is patience.
Yes, what you're essentially saying is that the contractors who are doing the roads have also been charged with the responsibility of digging holes for the pipes. So when the contractors delay this work, delay digging the holes because everything is happening at the same time, it's affecting reticulation.
Yeah, some pipes went through these places that the roads are being constructed. So that if these pipes, sometimes they affect the work that is being done. If these pipes that we're talking about, if they are not well channeled as before, because some of these things have been done many years ago, 20 years, 15 years ago. So we may not know what is happening. So if they dig up this thing, there's need for replacement. And this replacement also take time. Because they take time, we cannot but ask for that patience for them to finish their job. They are working in pari passu, hand in hand, to enable them do a final job. It's not after road construction that you begin now to break the road again in order to lay pipes again. That will not be good enough. Some of these things are contributing to the delays we have.
Okay, so when it comes to road safety, that's something we cannot overemphasize, because when the roads are completed, you have some reckless drivers and people that would definitely want to surpass the speed limit. So what are there any plans to ensure that there are road markings on the road?
All those will be provided.
What kind of markings, what kind of paint will be used?
Indelible markings will be done, such that even if you're on the road, and some of them will be reflective marks, so that even if you are driving in the night, you'll be able to see. All those will be provided for you. And even now, the ones you may get to the New Market phone village, you see that it has been, some sites have been marked, so that you can't drive beyond that point to the yellow line, so that you can't drive beyond that point. Otherwise, you get into trouble, or you get somebody into trouble. So they will be marked. The standard will be very high. Our governor, His Excellency Dr. Peter Ndubisimba, is a man of standard. So he cannot allow anything shoddy.
Before we even get into more safety issues, in terms of the number of contractors, how many are we looking at? How many contractors were engaged, and how many companies?
I don't have the figure.
Do you have the cost of the road construction?
I don't have the cost.
The exact cost of the entire scheme? Or how much has been spent so far?
It will be difficult. I came into this program slightly, the figures are not with me, but certainly it's an accountable government. It's a government of transparency. There's nothing hidden about it. So everything will be made known. But unless, if there is need for us to pump in more money in order to provide the good roads, we will do that. But it is not necessary. We can't do that.
So we can't get an estimate value?
I can't give you an estimate, so that I'll be on the safe side. If you want it, I'll supply it. I will get across to the necessary bodies and get it across.
Can we get your word on that we're going to have the cost?
No, you are now making me to come back again, but no problem. My words are there for you.
Your words are there that we're going to get the cost?
Yeah,
the breakdown perhaps at the end of the project.
Yeah, but it's not my duty to do that. There are commissioner for finance, commissioner for works, and commissioner for budget.
But with your assistance, we're going to get it.
If you ask me to tell them, I'll tell them, and they'll give it to you.
All right. So
this government is a government of transparency. It's a government of accountability. It's a government of traceability. So you can trace anything to the last point.
All right, we'll look forward to that. We'll look forward to that. Now, moving ahead to speed bumps. They are essential. But what we're seeing now in the States are speed bumps that are no longer visible. And as a result of this, people often speed over them, wrecking their cars. And in worst cases, this could even cause accidents. So are there plans to maintain the speed bumps within town? And what are the plans for the new roads to have speed bumps?
I want to thank you for this question. It is important because some people take laws into their hands and begin to construct bumps. This is not allowable. This is not acceptable. There are so many places, not only in the city, but in different villages. You see people just buying cement, concrete, and mix it and then begin to construct bumps. This is not acceptable. And some local governments, I am very sure that the chairman of local governments will understand what we are saying, that they shouldn't allow such to happen. At a certain point, people should know how to use the roads. But in order to answer your question, if there is need for bumps to be constructed, it should be standardized. And the Ministry of Works must agree, must sign that it will be done at certain places. And there must be reason for doing that. And there will be signages to indicate that there are bumps and other roads.
Yeah, if you look at the screen, you would see one. This one is leading up to, I think, Bush House is on Unza Street. And you can see it's not painted. Basically, all the paint is off. And people often just speed, and some of them wreck their shops.
This particular one you were saying was not constructed. It was not constructed by the government. It was not approved. I know this particular one you're talking about. It's not approved.
And they're up to 3 or 4 on that road.
That's what we are saying. That some people just come out and begin to construct bumps, and so in order to either preserve their own area, to avoid people driving so recklessly. So, but these things will be permitted by the Ministry of Works. We are going to come down heavy on people who do that. It's not allowable. It's not allowable at all.
All right, we're going to get into more issues concerning the roads. Thank you so much for giving us, that informed take on the speed bumps that we have in town. We'll go on a quick break, and when Enugu Kwenu returns, we'll go deeper into these critical issues. Don't go anywhere. Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Enugu Kwenu here on Afia Television, and on the program today, we are gaining insights on the Enugu State road constructions with the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Aka Eze Aka. Now, moving ahead to the contractors, and of course, these are critical people because they are in charge of managing how quickly we start to experience these smooth roads, right? So, do these contractors have to work overnight? And if they have to work overnight, then what is being done to ensure their safety, especially when the ultimatum was issued?
Well, we provided security. Largely, Enugu State is a secure place. There is peace in Enugu State, and we're enjoying it. The security is such that these contractors have been assigned with security personnel, so that there will be but none of them have complained so far. So that's an indication that what we have planned is coming out very well. So there will be, we carry out spontaneous supervision. We don't talk about how we're going to carry it out, but for now, some of them work in the night, some of them don't. But the implication is that they're all fighting to make sure that they meet up expectations before the road. His Excellency is deeply interested in making sure that these roads are finished on time so that we can face other things, especially other roads elsewhere.
So how frequent is the supervision? Because we saw His Excellency recently take a tour.
Yeah, it's not only His Excellency that supervises. He goes in to see it himself, so that it is not a report that is given to him. When he goes, it shows you somebody who is ready to work, somebody who is ready to monitor, deliver exactly what he intends, or even better than the imaginations of people. So he goes out there to check. He does that. Some people may not know that the governor is around. Clandestinely, he goes to check it himself, so that it's not a matter of the contractors getting ready because His Excellency is coming. No. On Sundays, you could just dress casually and move over to that place in the different. So they are aware of it. Okay. That's why they are so hardworking.
Okay, so the houses and buildings that, of course, had been there before, those legal and those illegal, can you give us, an approximate value of the level of damage to
When you
houses,
talk about value
buildings?
there, I have not quantified these things.
But have any houses at all been damaged as a result of these road constructions? And if so, we do understand that this is for public good, having effective roads in the state, but were they compensated at all?
We are engaging in minimal, especially in the town, minimal destruction of any property. Some of these roads have been constructed over the years, and so we are taking the same pattern to make the roads better. So that's why you have not heard a lot of complaints coming from people, because for now we are going through the road that have been there. Enugu people have been going through these roads, only that they have not been good enough. But from your reports, you would see that, look, they are happy with what is happening. Some of them are going through strains and difficulties, but excitedly, they will tell you that they are enjoying what is happening. Because in the next 1 month or less, we will forget about these constructions in the city.
Now, the ultimate question is, how long are these roads going to last?
I said it earlier, even before they began, that these roads are meant to last more. It will outlive this administration, outlive the next administration. So we're talking about 15, 20, 30 to 40 years. So that before any repairs are done, it will have gone a long way into the years.
In terms of waste management, we do understand that some people are fond of littering the road, and generally roads can get dirty very quickly when not properly monitored or properly managed. What are plans to ensure that waste on these roads is effectively managed, especially now you have lots of takeaway parks here and there, and with scavengers out of business, we might even see more on the roads because they're not going to pick up these bottles and the rest of them. How would waste be managed?
First of all, Enugu is becoming cleaner. And I would like you, while you are carrying out your investigation, you know some of these things and commend His Excellency and the government of the day. Because there are buckets provided everywhere for these waste material that are collected. That means that the organized city we want to build is such that you can't throw out that into the roads or into the gutters and so on. So there is need for us to have a change of attitude. The management of waste has been, we are now on a direction where waste are collected at a particular place. People are now commending the government because the waste mountains of heaps you used to see, they are no longer there. So immediately you have waste problem, contact the necessary persons or even call my number and we get the people to come and clear it immediately. This is a culture we are building. We are not building this culture for this government alone. It will last beyond this, because they say teach a child how to behave. I don't know how to say it again. And when he grows up, we are making sure that this new Enugu that we are now planning, everybody must conform in such a manner that when we leave government, it will continue. It's a continual demonstration of good behavior from the people.
Are there plans for pedestrians?
There are.
What are these plans?
For some roads. But as I told you, these are not essentially well-planned roads before. So we are doing what we are doing to the best of our ability. So, but the new Enugu city, of course, it will be there. For places where we have pedestrian track before, they will be maintained. So, but where we don't have, it will be difficult for us to control. But most of them do have.
Okay, so now lots of people are aware of the revenue drive of the current governor. He wants to make sure that the state is able to generate enough IGR, right? And then some people, some conspiracy theorists among us, will be wondering how the governor intends to maintain the roads that we have. Would there be a slight chance that maybe we would have some things called toll gates every now or here and there?
If it will come, we will talk about it. But for now, we have not started talking about it. What we do now is let's finish the roads first. Are you worried about the toll gates?
Oh, I'm not worried, but I'm trying to get into the minds of people who might be wondering how maintenance will be financed.
Well, if you check, the budget we did is unprecedented. And it's not coming from the blues. We are making sure that every avenue of raising capital into the economy of Enugu State. Remember, we're planning from $4.4 billion to $30 billion. It's not a walk in the park, if I may use the words of His Excellency. It's not ordinary things that we're doing. But for us to plan that big, it means that there are big plans in order to raise our economy, raise the revenue, and so on. So these are part of the maintenance culture that we have the culture from. It will be inbuilt into us, so that from whatever we have, we will maintain the roads. And that people are also expected to understand that these roads are built for them, and they should take care of the roads. Don't destroy the roads. Don't burn tires on the roads. Don't litter the roads. Don't build bumps, and so on. If we do these little things on our part, the government will do its own part. That's why SWAMA will be there to maintain the cleanliness of the roads.
Well, we're looking at still having trucks in Enugu State because we don't know how long it's going to take the federal government to look into the collapsed Artisan Bridge. So if these roads are eventually completed and opened up, perhaps we'll have some trucks also plying them and, you know, causing more mayhem and chaos on the roads.
Don't be afraid. That's why some roads are being delayed. So, but federal government is coming on fast. His Excellency is talking with the Minister of Works, and I'm sure that it will be finished in time.
Some people have on this program suggested that the governor should use his own or the state's funds to repair the Artisan Bridge, then go to the federal government and ask for a reimbursement.
That's their opinion.
So what do you think about that opinion?
They're entitled to the opinion.
Do you believe that's a viable solution?
There are so many things that the government is handling. It's a matter of pushing or egging the federal government to come and do the needful. And they are doing it. The Minister of Works, Engineer Senator Umahi, is on it day and night. And he's even constructing other roads that will pass through Enugu and so on. The duty of the governor is to ensure that he has good rapport with the federal government so that they can do these roads. For instance, the roads coming from Trupo through Obolafo to Ninth Man and so on. His Excellency had also met with the Minister of Works, and something is being done about the roads. If you are following the efforts of the federal government, you see that we are on track.
All right, so before we round off the show, we have barely 3 minutes on our clock. There's been an emphasis on completing the first phase of the project, the phase 1. And people are now wondering what exactly makes up this phase 1 of the road constructions. And that was actually the phase that the government gave the deadline for. Said that by December last year, phase 1 will be completed, though that did not see the light of day because we still have the road being constructed. Do you have any information about what phase 1 consists of?
Well, is it really necessary to talk about what it consists of? What we're seeing is that the roads that we're doing now, they all come under phase 1. Because
okay, just for clarity's sake, because some people are saying that the governor was not able to keep up with his promise because the roads were not ready by December. And people are now clarifying, saying that what he meant was that phase 1 would be ready. So is phase 1 with regard to the stage of road construction, or is it with regards to the areas in Enugu State that would be completely constructed before moving on to other sites? So what does that phasal approach mean?
The phasal interest is that the roads we have mapped out to construct, we shall finish them.
That's how the 71 roads?
The 71 roads, we finish them and we go to the next phase. So that these roads, we'll be able to know and track the government, what we are doing, to check what we are doing and how far we have gone. So when you talk about not meeting it in December, there are so many factors which the government did not cause. And these factors militated against completing it by December. I am glad that our people understand. That's why you have not seen voices rising. Our people are very excited. I think they now believe in this government that whatever they say they're going to do. And the government is also doing well. We are only beginning. We are only beginning. Better days are ahead.
Concerning the traffic situation, finally, what is your word to residents, particularly those that live around Transikulu, that are facing traffic every day? What's your word of advice? Are there any alternatives that perhaps they can explore?
You don't need to worry again. I told you I apply that road sometimes. because things are becoming better. It was closed about 2 days ago, but yesterday it was opened up, and the smoothness of what they have done so far, we tell you that they are also considerate about people and whatever they come. My only worry about the place is the dust. We had already asked them to be watering the place, so they water it 2 times in a day. But because of traffic, it becomes difficult to do it 2 times in a day. So, but when they have the opportunity, if you come out in the morning, you will see that the whole place is waterlogged, to ensure that the dust will not affect the people.
Well, we've seen a lot of disruption, everything being done at once, lots of things that point towards the governor's 2024 budget, the budget of disruptive economic growth. How disruptive, in just less than 50 seconds, should the Enugu State people expect the governor to be? What more disruptive innovations should we expect?
It's like a page of a book. We finish one and we enter the other one. But the disruptive innovation that we're talking about is that things will be done not the way it had been done before. That's why we avoid comparing this government with any government. Things will be done in novel, new way, a watershed that will bring a new government altogether. So we don't compare this government.
So just essentially last year, I have to ask this question.
Yes.
There's been lots of comparisons, between the southeastern governors and the governor of Abia State, Governor Alex Oti. How does the Enugu State government take to some of those involuntary, comparisons that people make every now and then, because they're taking on many of the same kind of projects?
I thank you for saying involuntary. They are coming from a spasm where people don't understand. They don't have the necessary information to understand and how to read governments. I told you, I try to avoid comparing governments, but time will tell about which governor is better. But the awards that my governor is getting now, you understand what I mean?
And congratulations.
Thank you very much. The other day, the governor got an award from Daily
New Telegraph.
Yeah, New Telegraph. And by 17th, another one has got. I'm happy, So,
well, it's my job to know.
If these people who are investigative as you are go to these states and determine that the governor of Enugu State is best in Nigeria, not only in Southeast, you can understand there's something about it.
All right, so we'll leave it at that, and I'll just add what you said earlier, that the grass would always look greener on the other side. I think that closes off the little argument there. Thank you so much, Akaeze, for being here today.
I'm grateful, Natalia.
And for all those insights. Well, I've left here with a lot of understanding, and I hope that you at home also have more of an in-depth understanding of all the constructions going on in the state, that you can now tell what is what's fizzle and what is not, and how long we expect to wait. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
And let Super Eagles win.
And let Super Eagles win. Well, we're just saying good luck to Super Eagles as well, and make Nigeria proud. Thank you so much once again for being a part of the show today. I was your host, Nathalie Oko. Have an amazing evening.